We are live? Yes, we are. Good morning, private practice success community. Gerda here, of course, your fearless leader. No, I lie. I'm not fearless. I don't feel very fearless during these times, but I'm still going with your fearless leader. Let's see who is going to join me live. Hey, Julie, how are you? Julie, you'd be interested to know I've had a very delightful morning, and I'll tell everybody about it, of course, but the part that you would approve of is that I sent my husband off to go fishing this morning. So I actually went to the bait shop, got him some bait, and sent him off fishing so that I can do my training without somebody trying to get into the bedroom for something, because that is not allowed. And I told him it's going to be a couple of hours. So you go fishing, you can socially isolate and socially distance all the way down to the beach. And there's almost nobody here. So that's what he's doing. And I'm sure you'll approve, Jules. Hey, Yvonne, how are you? If you're hopping on, please say hi, say hello. Fishing is a great relaxation. It sure is, and he loves it. He did have the balls, I will say, to ask me, Gerda, can I take your Beats with to listen to music? And I said, are you crazy? There's no chance in hell that you are taking my Apple Beats to go fishing. You are meant to be mindfully enjoying the waves and the sounds and the smells. You're not taking my Beats because it will not come home. He always drops stuff. Hey, Allison, how are you? How are you going? I see we've got 8 people on here live. Please say hi and hello when you hop on so that I do know who it is. And let me refresh the page here. All right. So are you ready for my little lecture? I'm ready with a lecture this morning. Hey, Rachel, how are you? Let me just open it up here. All right, so as you can see, I scrub up very nicely because in T-minus 38 minutes at 10 a.m. Queensland time, my time, which will be 11 a.m. for the southern states, I will be running a training. Thanks, Yvonne. I will be running the training. It is the COVID-19 90-day practice survival plan training that I'm running. But I thought before I do that, seeing that I've got my makeup on and I'm like got a good shirt on and all of this stuff, that I'll hop on and have a quick chat to you guys because you need it. You so need it. Just waved at the phone. Well, I'll wave back at you, Rachel. There you go. Oh, and I just realized I brought myself a huge bottle of water. See, I'm like completely prepped for the training, and I do not have a glass. So I'm not as prepped as I thought I was, right? All right, so what I want to talk to you about, the following. There's so many cold hard truths at the moment. But I was looking this morning, and what I like to do, I like to see, okay, how many people could I potentially expect on my training, right? So I hopped into Infusionsoft, which is the program I use. Do not recommend it if you're looking at online CRM, just because it's very complicated and it's way overpriced. But I use it, all my data is already in there, so I'm just sticking with it for now. And last I checked, here it is. I wrote it down. Last I checked, there were 73 people that had enrolled or signed up to do this training this morning. Okay, 73 people. Now, I thought, okay, that's a pretty good number, right? And then the more I thought about it, the more I went, hang on, there's something wrong here. There's something wrong with this number. What is it? This number's not sitting right with me, okay? And yes, the number has been increasing consistently, right, over the last day or two. And I mean, I only announced this training when Tuesday evening, I think, right? Megan says once we signed up, we'll receive a link. You most certainly will, Megan. If you've already signed up and you haven't received an email, please check your spam, your junk, or promotions folders. Because the automatic email comes from Infusionsoft, a lot of firewall sees that as promotions, and it will therefore put it either in spam, junk, or promotions, depending on how your email client is set up. right? So it's probably in there. So you'll get an email with some copy in it, and then you will have an attachment with the links and all of that stuff in there as well. Now, guys, just hang with me. Hey, Alex, 1 second. I do have a glass just like behind the screen because I need to have some water. Just hang on. I'll be with you now. I'm coming. I'm coming. Here I am. Because I don't want to cut my sermon short because I've got a dry mouth and dry throat, right? There we go. Got my water. So Megan, please go and check, because if you've already signed up, you will receive it. All right, so where were I? Numbers. So I was looking and I was seeing, okay, 73 of my people, because if you're in this group, I see you as my people, have signed up to enroll and do this training. Of course, I know that not all of you can join live. A lot of you will be busy this morning, because I know it's like in daytime hours when you're probably trying to really work on your business. Some of you might be doing clients. So, and of course it is being recorded. But the number didn't sit right with me, and it bothered me so much that as I was driving this morning to buy bait for my husband to go fishing, yes, I'm a good wife in that way. If you missed the start of that, I spoke to Julie about that when we just started. I started thinking about it, and then I looked into our Facebook group. So I'm live streaming now into the Private Practice Success for Allied Health Professionals Facebook group. And there is round about 1,960 people in there. It's actually 64, but I just rounded it down because I know some of those are me and my team members, right? So 1,960 people is in this group. Hey, Caroline. So I thought, okay, so let's say of all 1,960 practice owners, whether you solo, medium-sized, small, large group practices, there's almost 2,000 of you in here, 1,960. If I divided that number by 2, right, that's 980. So let's say if I said, okay, 50% of the people in this group are maybe in here, but you know what? They've got their own business coach and mentor. Maybe they're doing their own stuff with other business coaches, although that hurts my heart. I'll survive. It's okay. The good thing is they're doing it, right? But let's say half of the people in my group aren't my business coaching and mentoring clients. You know, that's okay. But it's still 980 people, and only 73 is doing this training, which I think it's like, you know, you have life-saving surgery. This is like life-saving training, practice-saving training. And then I went, okay, good, be realistic. Let's divide that by another 2. Let's divide it by 2. So let's take another 50% off that number. So 980 divided by 2, that's 490 people. Because I'm reading your comments, I'm seeing what you're saying, right? I'm seeing the feelings that you guys are having. So let's say of the remaining half, I divide that by half, that leaves me 490, and I'm dividing it by half, and I'm saying maybe that other half of the 980, maybe 490 people have just given up already. Maybe they've just gone, you know what, this is too hard. Or you know what, I just can't see my way out of this. Or you know what, I just can't see me doing this. It's too difficult. Maybe half has already given up, right? Glad Megan went to spam folder. Yeah, it's annoying, but it happens. So let's say half of my people, which again kills me, have given up. That's still 490 people, of which only 73 has signed up for this training, right? That is 6%. 6% of people have said, yes, I'm going to do this practice saving training. Okay, and people, that is not good enough. That is not good enough. Okay, 6% of you have said, not of the whole 1,960, 6% of 1,960 divided by 2, again divided by 2. 6%, 73 have said, you know what, my practice is important enough for me to spend, I don't know how long it's going to go for. It's going to go for as long as it has to, 2 hours, 3 hours doing this training. You know what? My practice is important enough to spend $97 on a training that Gerda would normally charge me $497 for. 6%. Not good enough. If you are truly serious about saving your practice, you're gonna have to do something about it. More than just freaking out, more than just trying to run around going from in-person to online. You're gonna need more than that. And this is the cold hard truth. Doing that is not gonna get you through this. And I know it's hard to hear this, and I know I'm being harsh, but it is what it is, and that's all it is. Okay, it might feel good making all these arrangements and feeling like I'm being productive. I'm calling all these clients. I'm asking all these questions about Zoom and this stuff and that stuff, you know, and I'm feeling like I'm doing something, but that's not going to be enough. It just ain't, okay? You need to think about it in terms of, we are all clinicians in here, right? Some of us still do a lot of clinical work. Others of us, you know, have been able to minimize the number of clients we see. But when a new client comes and sees you, what do? Thanks, Martha. What do? Maybe your expectations are too high. No, it isn't. It isn't. And I will challenge you, Jan, I will challenge you to lift your expectations. You know, when you see a clinical client, the first thing you do is an intake assessment. Irrespective of what your discipline is, right? You do your intake, you gather all the information. So we have done a lot of gathering of information, listening to the news and stuff. And I would challenge you to make sure you get your information from reputable sources. Very, very important, right? Reputable sources. So step one is to gather all this information and do an intake assessment of what is happening right now, like we do with our clients, right? What do we do next? Then we do a case formulation and you go, okay, so my practice, my model, employees, subcontractors, solo, medium, whatever, discipline, all of that stuff. I need to do case formulation for my practice amidst all of this stuff. Then what we do after case formulation, then you go, okay, based on this case formulation, i.e. the way I understand what's going on, as best as I can, given the uncertainty that we are currently in, this is my treatment plan, okay? Then I put together a treatment plan for my client, and then I go and implement that treatment plan by doing the strategies, the interventions, the therapy, all that work, okay? Now, what I'm seeing happening with a lot of practice owners right there is they're starting with implementation of the interventions, right? This is where they're starting, and it might feel good because it's like, oh, I'm doing something. But the fact is, unless you've done that intake assessment, and I know you've done that for your business because everybody's listening to everything, right? And unless you've done the case formulation, and for your particular business, unless you've done a plan, a treatment plan for your business to get through this, you're gonna be running around doing stuff, and a lot of it's gonna be helpful, but you're gonna miss important things that you need to do in order to not only get your business through the next 3 months, but beyond, okay? It's very, very important. Hey, Emma. Hey, Alex. Hey, Amanda. Hey, everybody. Danielle, who's joined. I'm ranting and raving a bit today. No, not ranting and raving, just giving you a bit of a sermon this morning, your Friday morning sermon. So, I wanted to just hold up the mirror and say, I can see you running around and doing all of these things, but do not skip those very important steps in making sure that you're doing the right running around, the putting things in place in the right way that's going to see you through over the long term. Okay? Very, very important. The other point that I want to make, I'm sitting here right now advocating for you in your practice, okay? Advocating for you in your practice. I've already done this with my practice. I've already done this with my inner circle over the weekend, right? I've got a plan. I've done the intake, I've done the case formulation, I've done the planning. We are implementing and we've got a plan knowing that things can change at the drop of a hat, but the overall plan will still stay pretty much the same. But it will be much easier for us to pivot because we've got clarity on all the big business stuff that we need to do, right? So when the government makes another announcement, we go, okay, so this is an extra little ingredient into the mix. What do we do? Okay, this is how we're going to handle that. Okay, let's continue, right? So we don't have to freak out every time there's a new announcement because that is what's happening right now. That's what I'm seeing, right? So my business is going to be okay, and I want your business to be okay, all right? It is my job as a private practice mentor and coach to tell you these things, to hold up the mirror and say that you guys aren't doing the right thing. Yes, 73 of you are going to be, right? And maybe if you're part of that first half and you've already got your own business coach and mentor, that's perfectly fine. Please continue working with them. This, if you are currently paying for mentoring and coaching, needs to be one of the last things that you need to let go of. Okay, one of the last things you need it. I've got a mentor that I pay $4,500 a month for. I will keep on paying her for as long as I can, right? We all need somebody in our corner that can look at our business objectively without the emotions, because currently there's a freaking lot of emotions into the decisions that we are making as business owners, right? And you need somebody, and it's not going to be your husband or your wife or your best friend or your sister, because all of them are freaking out as well, right? You need somebody to support you. So if you've got someone, stick with them, listen to what they have to say, okay? Hey Melissa, hey Alonka. Amanda says, great minds think alike. I was talking yesterday with a supervisee about the importance of developing a formulation and treatment plan for her work moving forward. Perfect. Yeah, I love it. Emma says, when will a whole population Medicare announcement be made? Well, they said Monday, so I'm assuming either before or on Monday, Emma. No worries, Yvonne. All right. Now, the other point that I want to make is I'm here advocating for you and your practice. Just like I'm here advocating for you and your practice with you, it is your job to advocate for your client and their mental health. All right. Our clients are really struggling. Just keep an eye on the time so that I don't go over and miss my own training. Our clients are really struggling to make the transition from in-person to online. Now, when I say that, it's not all clients, right? We have 2 clinicians at my practice that started working fully online this week, and we've been so surprised. It wasn't as hard as we thought, but we had a plan, okay? We had a plan. We knew exactly what we need to do, how to follow up, how to talk to them, everything, right? But a lot of clients is struggling with it. It is your job to make sure that they know why it is important that they maintain looking after their mental health. And I know you guys, you are probably going, some of you are going to go, yeah, I feel very comfortable with doing that, Gerda, and others are going to go, oh, I'm going to feel icky, like it's just because I want them to pay me. Hell no. We know that that's not what it is about. Unless it is, then you need to own that. But majority of you guys in here, I know that you care about your clients. And if you truly care about your clients, you need to put your own money issues to the side, those money issues that make you feel bad for saying, you know what, I actually 100% believe that you need to go online, because there's no way we can risk losing the treatment gains already made by not having sessions for the next 4 weeks. And you know what? We don't know if it's going to be 4 weeks. It might be 4 months. We don't know how long this is going to take. It is your job to advocate for your clients and their mental health. Yes, they get to decide. Like, you get to decide whether you're doing this training with me, yes or no. It's your decision, but it's still your job. For me, it's like I need to be able to sleep at night, okay? I do not want to be reading about people closing their doors in here. Not closing their doors because they're going online, but closing up shop like business is over. The last 5 years that I've spent building my practice is down the drain. I don't want to hear that. And I may still hear that in this group, right? But I want to be able to sleep at night by going, you know what? I was very clear with these guys in terms of what they need to do. If they choose to do it, fabulous. If they don't choose to do it, I cannot have that on me, right? My responsibility is not to take action on your part. My responsibility is to tell you what I know in my heart is the best thing for you based on my experience. Similarly, what you need to do as a health professional, allied health, mental health, doesn't matter what your discipline is to go, me as the person that knows you, that's been seeing you for the last 4 months or whatever, I am recommending to you that this is what you need to do, because I do not want to talk to you in 4 months and hear that things has just gone downhill, or that you are suicidal or whatever. Of course, that will be a case-by-case basis, right? In terms of what you will tell that client. So you need to get ready to advocate for your clients, because what people do is, it is very easy, especially when you work with parents, they will stop everything for themselves to give it to their kids, to make sure their kids are fine. It is our job now to advocate for people to value their mental health, or things are just going to get worse. There is a moth on my table. You have not been invited to this party. So it's your job to advocate for their mental health. And if they choose not to do it, that is okay. But then you're not going to go, well, I told you so, when they come back 4 months later and they're not coping. You're still going to be there for them. Your doors are still going to be open for them. You're going to welcome them back with open arms. But you're not going to have guilt because you didn't speak up, okay? And I don't want that. So I want to encourage you to speak up. And it's not about convincing your clients to do something they don't want to, but just being very honest with them in terms of what your professional opinion is, in terms of what's in their best interest. Just like you go to the doctor and they prescribe you medication. I can either take that prescription, go and fill it at the chemist, or I can chuck it in the bin. It's my choice, right? We all have a choice, but it's also your job to give them their prescription, so to speak. So make sure that you do that. All right. And then the last thing, there's so many money mindset stuff that comes into play here as well. So the other challenge that I want you maybe to just think about and just to reflect on is this. If you have decided not to do this training, this COVID-19 90-day practice survival training, because you thought, I just need to hang on to that $97. I like going on the defensive, I'm not spending it. I want you to ask yourself, how can you expect your clients to still continue to pay you? You need to be very mindful of how your own money mindset that you are exhibiting right now will be impacting the money mindset that you will be displaying as you are dealing with clients. As you pick up that phone, especially for our solo practitioners, it is much harder for you guys. Let's just acknowledge that. For the bigger practices, it's much easier asking a reception to call a client and go tell them A, B, and C. For our solo practitioners that has to do all of that themselves, it's much harder. It's much easier to give in and not state your value and state the decision that you've made. And again, I don't judge. If you choose to 100% bulk bill, that's your choice. If you choose to charge completely out of pocket, that's your choice. If you choose to only do the bulk, not the bulk bill, the gap payment that people normally would have paid, that's your choice. All of us need to choose based on, once you've done that whole assessment, case formulation, treatment plan, it's all part of that, right? But you need to be mindful of how your own money mindset, the money decisions that you are making right now, is impacting on the money mindset energy and the way that you are interacting with your clients, because it's going to come into play then. All right, very, very important. Just reflect on it. Just be aware of it. What else? Any questions, guys? Oh yes, the other thing that I'll say that I've been getting very annoyed with is I see all these posts about supporting small business. Okay, we need to do everything we can to support small business. Let's come up with ideas. Maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that. And I'm 100% for it. But the one thing that people are forgetting is this. You as a allied health professional, you as a mental health professional, you are also one of those people. You are also one of those small business owners that need support. You are also one of those small business owners that needs our compassion. So stop having different rules for yourself than you have for the other small business owners. You guys are also compassionate with them. Like, what can we do to help? What can we do to help? You need to start helping yourself. You need to start helping yourself by having the right money mindset regards to what's going to get you through this, and by prioritizing you and your team and your business as well. Okay, I just want to leave that point there with you as well. Just reflect about it. You know, in therapy, we often speak with clients about, you know, you've got all these rules, and, you know, do you apply those rules just to other people or to yourself as well? And a lot of times people go, no, you know, I need to be there for those guys, but I don't have to be, those rules don't apply to myself. And that's what's happening right here, right? We are expecting ourselves to drop our prices, to bulk bull, to do all these things. But then we feel sorry for other small businesses. And yes, we should, but we should have the same compassion for ourselves, okay? The same rules count for you as what counts for all the other small businesses. We are all in this together, okay? So don't sacrifice yourself if you don't expect other small businesses to sacrifice themselves. Just some food for thought. Okay. I'm going to leave it there so that I can actually have 15 minutes of not talking before I start talking for potentially the next 2 to 3 hours. Alrighty, so if you haven't signed up for the training, it is not too late. You can sign up now. Join us at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. in the southern states. And remember, it will be recorded. I'll pop the link in the comments here. Please have a discussion about the stuff that I've said. You might have been triggered by it. If I did, please know that what I said is really to be helpful to you. I said it to support you. I'm saying these things to make you uncomfortable, okay? So if it worked, job done, Gerda, because I really want you to get through this. Fabulous Ilonka, can't wait to see you there. I want you to get through this, okay? It's very, very important. I don't want to see a post that you're closing your doors and that you're giving up and you're going to go work for, I don't know who, Queensland Health, God forbid, right? I want you to get through this. You've put in so much energy and hard work into building your practice, whether your practice is 6 months old or 16 years old. I want you to get through this. All right, I'll speak to you soon. Have a fabulous day. And remember, as always, all you need to do is say yes to your very own ultimate level 5 private practice. Bye for now.